Hey, welcome back, guys. This is Ryan from Fairly Awesome Podcast. This is the 12th episode of the Fairly Awesome Podcast, so we're kind of destined for awesomeness here, I think.
Number 12?
You said 12?
12.
Shit, got my shoe off.
All right. Counting.
All right, so this may be our standard cast for a while. We might get Staunton coming in every so often, but perhaps for now you'll recognize the crew. We have Nate Bushing with us.
Hey, what's up?
His brother Josh Bushing.
Yo.
And Chris Keene here.
Hello. Was that, so, just out of curiosity, was that some kind of warning? Like,
hey,
they're stuck with us now?
Yeah.
Hey,
you're stuck. If you haven't pulled the shoot on this one yet.
Right. If our subscriptions start to go down at this point, I know, oh God.
There was a culling. I was going to say, it's like that one guy that made the video of his base jump, and he's like, sorry, Mom, and his leg is all mangled and messed up. I should have pulled the chute earlier.
All right. Well, we definitely have. We know that our last one, catching up from our hiatus, was a little bit long. So we'll get right into some of these topics because some of these are really good. So yes. I want to try and vet these out as much as we possibly can. The first one is really interesting. It's sort of a trend that we're seeing now. Nate noticed that a lot of games are on this weird verge of: is it beta? Is it alpha? Is it production?
Yeah.
And you know, does it actually apply to itself? So, you know, the notable example being Battlefield 4, released under time crunch, and it would appear that the community is not fixing their bugs, but finding their bugs and reporting them. So, and that's a release, not a beta. Mm-hmm. Versus on the flip side, you got people paying money to get in on Star Citizen at alpha. Elite Dangerous at alpha. I mean, paying big money, $200 to get into Elite Dangerous alpha.
Lord. Yeah.
Or the widely acclaimed now DayZ alpha for $35.
Yeah.
You know,
so I love how they put those warnings on Steam too. They're like, don't pay money for this. No, not really. They're just like warning. This is a beta or alpha.
No,
expect
for real.
problems.
This is alpha.
Problems.
Something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Understand you are buying an alpha copy.
So what do you think about this, Nate? What's your?
It's so weird because games are this medium that you can actually get away with this, right? Or at least this is the way that our culture has been slowly gearing ourselves towards. Like, you know, nobody would ever pay a band to give them like a half unfinished song and be like, oh, well, it's still kind of coming. What do you guys think of this? We'll go ahead and change this. You know, it's never been done to me. Idea. An entrepreneur is born.
Let me put out this crappy music, and then you guys tell me what's wrong.
No,
with it.
That's the thing. People would take it and go like, "This is crap," and then move on. You know, because it's such a short.
They call that American Idol.
Ouch. Boom. I'm gonna vote yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna vote yes. No. So.
And not like the band. Yes.
I like that band. Don't you say anything horrible about Chris Squire. That man can slap a bass.
So for episode 13, Josh Bushing won't be returning. So keep those subscriptions. Don't unsubscribe.
They're calling from the herd.
Right. All right.
Yes. So beta testing. Yeah. I feel like Battlefield is the perfect example of a unwilling beta tester. You know, all these people bought this game expecting production, expecting results of hey, this game is finished, it's ready to go. There's going to be nothing wrong with it. I'll get in, I'll play, it'll be awesome. And you know, everybody's having crashed the dashboard, all of that kind of stuff. Do you think our culture, like I was saying earlier, do you think we've got to this point where we want it so much now that we're willing to put up with this, and we will go ahead and say it's production, even when it's not?
No, I don't think so. But I do think we have made this market more possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I do think that there's been that call for bring it to me earlier. I want the next thing now. You know, I want to get in on, and there is a growing trend of people that do want to get in on betas and alphas and whatever. I mean, it's not.
I think it ruins the game.
A little bit. I mean, some things. It depends. I mean, the beta should be pretty polished.
Yeah.
Really, if you don't want negative, truly the beta. I'm not even saying your release. Your release should be. If you had an open beta, your release better be like the slickest stuff ever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Clean up the last of the bugs, kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what the beta's for, is to collect the last of the bugs, because you have a huge pool of people coming to play the game at that point.
Right.
But I don't know. I've played several betas, and I've gotten to the point where I like supporting people who are doing things, and like if it was a Kickstarter thing, I'd be okay with it. But like I kickstarted that Shrouds of Avatar, and they've had like alpha weekends and beta weekends and stuff. And I think I have access to it. I haven't logged in because a lot of it's going to just ruin it for me. I betaed Star Trek Online.
Yeah, we did.
And played through, and I got to like level 20 or 30 or something.
Did they do a reset on you?
And they reset it, and I got to
Some
like 40, and I stopped it because I was played out. I played almost all those same missions over again, and it was just boring at that point, because once you've done something several times, you kind of get burnt out. And the same thing with Old Republic. I was beta testing that, and then they reset it each weekend, and I got to 20.
It's almost like
just like.
It's almost like playing the demo of a game that's like a big demo, and you play a lot of it, and then you're just played out by the time it releases. Or by the time you're like, I do want to play this, but do I want to spend those, in like a demo term, do I want to spend those 4 hours again?
Yeah.
Knowing that but see, the thing is, they don't have to take that approach. Some games, if you were in the beta, you got access to things that made, even though they did level reset, you got like I want to say Star Wars. When you were in the beta, this is the bad Star Wars.
You talking about the original Galaxies? Yeah.
When you were in the beta, you got access to things that others had to spend a long time
like
trying to
Jedi
get.
and all of that.
Right. So there's a little bit of a trade-off there for you to do. So only beta testers could be eligible to be Jedi right out of the gate there for that. But I don't know.
That's one of those things that just took like a year's worth of game
grinding.
And yes, grinding.
And it was a luck too on a lot of it. It's like, wow.
Does it seem like some of the unnecessary beta at this point in time is tied back to console release, because we are in a new phase of console, that there was so much push to get these unfinished or almost finished games out in time for launch that you're kind of getting...
Yeah, I think it's bad release management is what it is. They're under such a crunch. It's scope creep, but it's also you've got these production companies that are like, you gotta have it out now because EA made a deal with Microsoft. Like, we gotta have it out now.
So Battlefield's
gotta come.
Sell it.
Because they pretty much have drop dead dates.
Exactly.
It has to be ready by then, whether it's done or not.
And, we can just patch it after it's gone. Because it goes gold, and they have to press the CD.
And that's why you get a day one patch for almost
every game.
Yeah, well, and that's just
CD.
CD. We're dating ourselves now.
Yes.
It's DVD. Oh, wait, it's Blu-ray.
Did I say CD?
You did.
Oh, my God.
Yes, but anyway, Battlefield isn't the only one that's done this, and I don't think it's just a console thing that does this. I mean...
Is it an EA thing?
No, I don't know. It could be.
No, Ubisoft is the same way. Ghost Recon. Hawks. Yeah, the good old Tom Clancy's Hawks is great.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine if you opt in for an alpha or a beta or something like that. If you're making the choice that I'm going into this and I know that there's gonna be there's gonna be headaches, there's gonna be issues, there's gonna be whatever, that you're saying I'm up for that.
Right.
Yep.
And if that burns out the game for you early, then that's on the gamer.
Yep.
If you say, I know I'm gonna be playing this game for the next 2-3 years, the beta probably isn't going to do anything to damage that then.
Right.
You know what I mean, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment that I helped bring it here.
Yep.
And hopefully if you're a good beta tester or a good alpha tester, I mean, honestly, alpha testers, I can't believe that we're even opening alpha versus beta.
Because that changes like day to day almost.
Yeah.
Like DayZ potentially could change day to day. I'm sure he doesn't push it to Steam like that, but like that alpha.
Yeah. But I mean, like when you take that on, you should be helping, and when it gets to beta, yes, it's more of a stress test. You're making sure that the servers can handle large volumes of players and all sorts of strategies. Balancing comes in beta, not alpha.
Yeah.
So you're looking at some of that stuff, but that takes a little bit of a different breed that maybe we didn't even see that being opened in the past. And maybe that's a good thing. I mean, honestly, unless you have some development and troubleshooting skills, you probably don't belong in the alpha side of it.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
what I was thinking, and it's just asking for trouble. I think it's
Yeah,
people
unless
that
they're
like
just-
just don't have the experience for it, or the patience for it too. Because a lot of people will come on there and just be like, "Oh, it doesn't work,"
And then throw
and
hate
then
at
this
it.
huge
Yeah.
bunch of flame wars, and you're just like, "What the dude?" is
But
not
they're
even-
collecting
what part of
money for
alpha
this
don't you
stuff. So the
understand?
Yes.
question is, are they really losing out? You know what I mean? In some of these cases, like Elite
well,
Elite Dangerous,
yeah,
where it was
crazy.
$200 to get into the
much
alpha.
is-
I don't
they're
think-
they're
Star
not.
Citizen.
I was gonna say, I don't think
Do
they're
we know?
losing. I feel like.
I think it's a gain for them.
No, I
At
said
the
I
same
was.
point
I'm
in time.
thinking companies at this point. They're like, what can? How little can we do to make money?
Right.
Honestly, that's what they're looking at.
If
They're
you ever
like,
watch the credits, like 90% of their beta testers listed for quality control are all contractors anyway.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
is it Evolt and
nobody
Yeah.
keeps a
a couple
dedicated
of other
staff
that's all they
anymore
do.
for that because they know they can get away with.
So if they can
using
push the
users.
cost off onto the end consumer, why
Absolutely.
not? Why hasn't this happened sooner?
Yeah, they're all excited too because they
Money
can fix
hats.
things. Before you could have you had to have a polished game. Like if I went to Best Buy in like 1997 and bought something
CDs.
yes, the X-Wing collector's edition
compact.
CD
I'm gonna just
ROM,
put my head down now.
and load it into my 486 computer.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
You can depend on the updates because they weren't coming.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
were no updates.
Yeah.
I mean, there'd maybe one update for the entire game after they collected all the bugs and were like, "Hey, we're having trouble with this list."
And they'd
system."
release it with their
Right.
expansion pack.
And it would come with the expansion.
Yeah, like
Yes.
and that's when it fixed
Man,
the bugs.
that's. I hate DLC, but God, I gotta get those fixes.
right?
But you're right. You're right. They weren't the big problems simply weren't there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let them be there. And here's the thing: it's going to take one of those situations to explode on them. They'll go to a point where, like, EA will release a game in its worst condition possible, and there'll be some sort of class action lawsuit that happens.
Battlefield.
Because
Yeah, that's
There was
true.
a class action lawsuit. I'm pretty sure
Oh, I
that
believe
that there was at least an attempt to make one. Class action. I could be wrong. I thought I remember reading or hearing something about
Well,
that.
and here's the
Making
thing,
it all up. Nate Bushing, fabricating news. Fairly awesome podcast.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Fabricating news since 1870.
You're like, exactly like some date I could never exist at. Fabricating news.
Okay.
2020.
1492.
1492.
You know what though? Like some betas, I would say like this. Like the we just talked about the Titanfall beta, and that just went open today.
Yep.
We're looking at 3 weeks out to Titanfall releasing.
That's pretty damn done.
Yeah, I would. I mean, it
cool.
feels polished.
Yeah.
it feels polished.
I'd almost think that beta is more of a kind of get you hooked beta because
Yep.
Get
it's
you hooked.
new enough you don't know what's going
System
on.
seller.
Stress test.
And really
and
kind of
stress test,
what
yeah.
your multiplayer should be is stress test and balancing. So you
Yep.
can see, like, if the shotgun is overpowered, turn the
Right.
shotgun down a little bit.
Are they? I didn't know. Does Titanfall have dedicated servers too?
They all have to. Any Xbox One game has to use.
Okay,
the,
so they definitely have to stress test because they got to know if their servers are
Yeah.
going to handle. It's not a matter of
these are
like,
the
if
system will
Azure
handle
handle it.
the Azure servers.
Oh,
for
they
Microsoft.
are.
Yeah.
Okay.
The interesting thing about this, specifically the Titanfall beta, the other thing it serves as is when you download the beta, it's 5 gig.
Oh.
So
That's a good chunk of the game.
yeah.
So if you've downloaded the beta, it patches the beta and then
Download-
downloads the rest of the game, and you're
Oh,
set to go
yeah.
even faster.
Exactly.
So they're making
Yeah.
it segmented downloading so their servers don't get hit day one
Yep.
with a giant amount of bandwidth.
Well,
they
yeah.
already will, but
Somebody was thinking.
yeah, no, that
If it's patched and BitTorrented, you've already got how many people with the first 5 gigs of data that are like, blue, enjoy.
I was gonna say that actually makes a lot of sense. I don't know why more companies haven't done that in the past. So it's like if you download a
Blizzard
beta or a
does
demo,
now.
it's like why don't you just take that and make it the game?
Like it used to be like I think what they're concerned about is what you used to have with the shareware downloads. Like
Yeah.
you could shareware Hexen, and if
And
you
then
had the
rip-
key, you
oh,
unlock
yeah.
the whole game.
Yeah, and
So it's
uncrack
like,
the crap out of
hello
it.
internet, thanks for the key.
yeah, yeah.
You get those apps that were like all id keys,
Yeah.
and you're like, Hexen and
Hexen,
Quake.
Quake.
and-
Random
No, I'm
little
all
thing.
right with having just but I meant more like you have half of it downloaded, just use that directory
Right,
instead
right.
of keeping me 2 separate installs.
Right.
It's
'Cause
going to
I'm-
be bigger than 5 gig.
Oh god, yeah, I'm sure.
Do some kind of like seeding.
if
the game.
freaking what is it NBA or whatever 2K14 or whatever the hell it was is like 45 gig. I'm sure Titanfall is going to be pretty big.
Oh my god!
It's
I
like-
don't think it's gonna be that big.
It's like 45 gig.
I don't think it's gonna be that big. I think it'll
That's
be
sweat physics, yo.
It's gonna be all like
That's sweat
skins
physics.
and
Yeah.
Jesus, that's ridiculous. I did
Jerseys
not know
and-
that.
Yeah.
45 gig?
I was pretty sure NBA 2K14 is like 45 gig install.
The graphics
install.
are ridiculous in that game. Like because you can see any clips you want.
It's
but
probably uncompressed. That's why, like all the graphics.
I have no
and-
idea. But that is huge. That is ridiculous.
Taking up a big piece of your hard drive, Xbox One. Okay,
Well, the
that's
good
my little
news-
song for you.
The quick tangent on that. The good news is the memory management is in Xbox One now. So it was missing
okay.
when it launched. You can now go in there and see how much space you have. I found out that I have used up half of my hard drive
Seems
already.
kind of like a critical component.
Yes.
Xbox making unwilling beta testers.
But you know what? I didn't need it before now. I was like, holy crap, this needs to get in quickly.
this is an exhibit meme. Is like Xbox beta testing, Xbox One beta testing with beta testing games.
Yeah, I guess.
I heard
so.
you want to beta test games on your beta
Yo,
testing
bro.
console, so I got you this beta tested console.
This thread
This
just
is
got
like a
meta.
new meme. It just got meta.
So
Mo beta.
Mo
Mo meta.
right. So what beta have you participated in that you were like that was really worthwhile and it made you go get the game or it made you feel better about it? Or,
World of Warcraft.
You got it on the beta before it launched.
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yes, I did. I did get it on the beta, and I went out and bought it. And I think everybody got addicted to that game, regardless as if they played the beta or not. Though it's just at the time it was the best. Like
It was easy to play and it was
Yes.
easy to get hooked.
And it was like you had already
get sucked
you
in.
already lived with the original World of Warcraft or original
Warcraft 2. So I was already all in
So
on the
you
world.
know what's going on.
Characters.
You're
Yep.
all about the characters.
Yep.
You've got
You're
it
right.
kind of already invested when World of Warcraft came out. So
You're like, Pat committed, there goes my life.
yes,
Yeah, it did. They knew how to use that Blizzard sense of humor too to pull it in. There was no everything else really took itself serious, and WoW did, but not to that extent. But yeah, it was a beta that pulled me in, and I mean, it wasn't without its bugs either. But I didn't run into a lot of it. It was very polished, like you said.
Yeah,
like
by
they
beta,
they
you
were
should be
already there.
polished.
And I got in on the tail end of the beta though too. That beta went on forever. Like I would almost say almost a damn year.
You know what though?
That
With
beta
as
went
much
on.
stress testing as they needed to do.
Yeah.
it was probably big enough that you needed a long ass beta.
They needed a long ass beta because that was
Anybody
unprecedented.
else impressive betas that they've ever been in?
Only been in a handful of betas.
Not really.
Most recent beta I can remember that was not impressive. World of Tanks.
Yeah.
It's just not either. It's really not the game that I like enjoy playing, or it was just clunky controls and not what I was expecting.
You know what though?
but-
Some people love that game.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
don't,
like so many people talk about that game.
I don't
Like,
understand.
It's good graphics. It's good physics. It's just for me not the game that it's not a game that got me hooked about.
It kind
anything.
of strikes me as
Yeah.
like if you're a military buff,
Yeah.
and you're kind of looking to get into like some like not super hard gaming but kind of casual gaming. Yeah, this game probably sounds right up your alley. But
I would say, and on the surface, I would say you're right with that. On like when you get deeper in the game, because you can't respawn,
yeah,
it actually becomes a little bit more hardcore. Like the guys that can get that first shot, and they get the super long arc, and they can get them from 1,000 meters away or whatever.
or it really does still apply because when you die, you just bust out your most recent Burns book and wait to respawn. You're like, yeah. I'll rewatch Band of Brothers.
Right on the Blu-ray.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, I have to agree with you. It's a weird state that we're in currently with.
I was gonna say, any betas for you? Do you got any betas that you feel like that you use? I feel like betas for me have transformed. Like I avoid them now. Like I'll maybe jump in, see if it's good. I'm like, that's it, I'm out. Like I did that with PlanetSide 2. I got in on the beta early, and I jumped in, played a little bit, was like, actually, this is really cool. I'm gonna save it.
He did, and then he got me to play it. And the first thing I did when I got in the game, there's no tutorial. First thing I did is I landed, and then I died. because somebody killed me.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I was alive for like 2 seconds.
That game is
when I was
not
dead.
player friendly at all for new players. They may have fixed it since. It's been
Maybe.
like over a year since we've
But-
played it.
I was like, nope, done. Done.
They're actually bringing it to console, so I know they've got to at least do some work
Tweaking
on
there,
it,
yeah.
tweaking to make it more player friendly. Because there's like, it was bad. They did just jump you into the action without telling you anything, and it is a complicated game. It is
Yeah.
not a game
And the
that you
first
want to
Planet
just jump
side took
into.
a bit to kind of get used to
Yeah.
once you figured it out.
As far as betas I've been in, though, I don't know any that were like. To be honest, this Titanfall beta is probably the first one that I was like, wow.
Yeah,
Like, this is
yeah.
a
Gotta buy
really
that
good
game.
beta, and I'm getting in.
The hype is worth it on that one,
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I've been in several. I would say the one before that sort of impressed me or like had me intrigued was probably the Star Trek beta.
Yep.
Which
and we
was-
ended up playing.
We did
Yeah,
a decent
and
chunk
was,
of.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was pretty fun. You just didn't know where it was going to go. End game. Yeah,
Yeah.
5-head brings us back to that my science officer.
You're a beautiful science officer.
Right. So the other trend that's perhaps disturbing is so we've got games that are released, and you used to have expansion packs, which we're
Okay.
now calling DLC. Right.
Yep.
Because before you used to have to buy the discs,
Right.
And now you don't have to buy the discs; you just download it.
I'm okay with that.
Kind
So
of
there's DLC, which is sort of become. Are they really selling you the whole picture up front?
Yeah.
And then are they expansion packs, or are they selling you pieces of the original art?
Original game.
You're right.
Even to
yeah.
where DLC's on the disc and you're downloading this 128K unlock bit, and you're like, you sons of bitches.
Batman Arkham City.
Right.
Catwoman DLC and Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. So we've got DLC, which is sort of creeping into this uncomfortable. This was supposed to be with release,
Yeah, it's
not
starting to
expansion.
Starting to feel pumping the quarters in a little bit.
A little bit, and maybe it has to do with game prices haven't changed in forever. But anyway,
Yep.
Well, so we've got DLC, then we've got subscription base. We've got subscription base, which is like the World of Warcrafts, where you have a monthly. You buy the game. Expansion packs are just that, where you get discs, or it is DLC, but it is a thought out. There is no question about you are getting content that was not there when it released. It is that big of a thing, and that's how you get with subscription. Is it is subscription with DLC, but you cannot complain about how much content is in it because you get a lot.
You could, yeah. People
Well,
have
there's all
spent
that going back to
millions of hours in that.
And then the
200.
the third
200
model.
days, I think. My last slash played for my main character.
Jesus.
Good lord.
Freaking ridiculous.
And then the third model is freemium, where the game is either free or reduced cost, or in some cases full cost, and then you have microtransactions inside to help bring up additional revenue streams. And whether that's Forza and you're buying cars, or whether that's
What was the Battlefield 4 thing called it? Pay to win?
pay to win.
Instead of play to win anymore, it's pay to win.
Pay to win.
Yeah.
But that's
That's the quarters.
that's not microtransaction though. That is
In their example, that was the premium.
well, that's not freemium though.
No, that's not
Because
premium.
that's basically pre-purchase DLC is what that is.
Right, yeah.
But that's kind of
Yeah.
what the freemium model works on is pay to win.
Yes.
Like you can play the game,
But you
if you
can't
actually
play
wanted to
the
play the game,
League of Legends is kind
Yes.
of well. So
Because they make you switch characters every week otherwise.
every 3 or 4 days, the character rotations that are free switch.
what?
So you
Yeah.
gotta keep
So you
changing your
You
tactics.
either
huh?
change your tactics by picking different characters that are free, or you spend a fortune.
That
You
buying-
pony up.
Everybody
buying
will
the
spend.
characters that you want to play. Because once you bought the character, you can play
Yeah.
them no matter what.
Is it free to play?
It is free.
Well, that's not too bad then.
Yeah. But
But it's free to play. What can you? I mean, from a freemium game, if it is actually free, I'll
it
deal
is-
with a little bit of.
it is free.
Okay.
Well, and see, okay, so as you're playing, you can. There's 2 different ways of buying stuff in that game. You could buy with cash, and then you get certain other points. They're like riot points or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have when you're playing the game after each battle, you get some what they call IP
In-game
or something.
currency.
Yeah, and it's another different type of currency. or
Can you
whatever.
actually buy them with
And you
that?
could buy characters with that currency.
That's sort of like
okay.
So it's
Interesting.
really cool.
That's cool. So you don't have to pay to
And
unlock a
only on
character.
those things where you could buy certain stuff. Now, I don't think you can get skins from just the game that
Because
you're
everybody
playing.
wants to play Magic, dress up Ken, Barbie. We do. We
Yeah,
do.
we
We,
kinda
as gamers, for whatever reason, we love
wanna
to
customize the hell out
the
of
shit out of our
shit
characters to make them look
yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the things is like so they'll have different animations and stuff for certain things, and that their skins or whatever they change like how your whatever does.
So this is kind of like
It's pretty cool.
like
Some of
real
it's really
racing, you know,
Yeah,
where
where you can buy
it's
stuff.
totally free,
Yeah.
and you can either
You can earn
buy,
credits to buy stuff, or you
Right.
can pay
fun.
money.
And I bought like
Which is a good model
IP
as opposed
boosts
to-
and XP boosts and everything that you could get.
Right.
And
And
there
Guild
was-
Wars 2 is that way. You can buy gems on a trading, like a marketplace,
Yeah.
with gold, and use that to buy things out of there.
which is another
They
interesting example because Guild Wars 2 is you buy the discs up front, you know, or the download straight from Steam
Yeah,
or
I
something.
like that, by the way. I like that
pre-ordered
model.
it.
Yeah, but you do that, and then instead of, because it's MMO, instead of paying for a subscription to keep that going,
Right.
they offer this microtransaction where you can either grind through and do it, or you can do these.
Oh, I didn't know they were offering microtransactions on Guild
You
Wars.
can microtransact, but
Yeah,
they're
you can-
they're
you
not
can-
that bad though.
But it's none of it is really like pay to win stuff. It's like you can buy character customizations, you can buy like visual respecs, you can buy mining. Like there's like mining and woodcutting and
so look at
harvesting.
imagine
Like boostings.
Right, you can buy tools that are unlimited. Like the normal ones expire after 100 uses. You can buy unlimited ones. So they don't really help you out in any way
Okay.
other than you stop spending money on
Yeah.
grinding tools.
which isn't too
No, that's
bad,
not
really.
bad. Old Republic has something similar with that
Free-to-play
cartel
model?
currency or whatever that they get, and then
So-
if you're a subscriber, you get like every month you get
A stipend of cartel
Yeah,
currency.
cartel currency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I guess where I'm trying to take this conversation is what do you think? I mean, there's definitely some shady stuff going on with either DLC or the freemium side of
freemium.
this. The only side that isn't really hyper criticized is a subscription model. Only that everybody can agree that if it's $15 a month, I don't know if I want to do that. You know, there is this sort of
It forces you
it's
to play the game.
It's upfront. You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't wanna
You
play
feel
it.
like it's required to play because you want to get your money's worth.
Yep.
Right.
But like $15 in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's
Ain't that
like
bad.
going out to eat maybe once or twice at a fast food place.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
depending
right.
on what you get.
Nowadays, now it's like
yeah,
like
so
once and a half.
Once, yeah.
So the question is, do you if you were to pick a model for your favorite games, like if Elder Scrolls Online is coming up, and they're weighing the options here. It sounds like they're going to go subscription, but the other option would be DLC or microtransaction. And there's just so many. There's so many ways to get both of those so wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, I would actually. I like that they're going subscription, and here's why. Freemium, to me, it feels like you have to worry about your money, your value that you put in, right? Because you're like, man, if you put in enough money or buy things, you don't know how much you've spent unless you're like
Total.
spreadsheeting it out, saying, here I'm playing Mr. Accounting and I've got this much money, and where, hey, I just paid 15 and I know I got the full experience and I've got everything at my fingertips and I don't feel like I've been screwed out of something, versus like Old Republic's free to play is like a they like limit your bars and you can only do so much, have so many skills out and all this kind of thing. It's like that to me is like they're like hampering you so much that you don't, you know what I mean? Then you feel like you've got to pay in order to do it. So it's like more like
Which wouldn't be good business if they
No.
weren't trying to convince you
it's
to,
you to pay
it.
some sort of money, right? What that's the thing is like I
It's
don't
like
I
League
don't
of
like
Legends where-
these nickel dime quarter things. I don't like that.
It's the interesting thing too is like League of Legends, where I bought like a giant sum of that RP or whatever, so I could buy characters. And then you go through and you buy all those characters, and then they release a new character, and then a couple more skins, and then you end up having to refill that. And I'm not spending money; it's expending a lot of money like up front.
Oh, okay.
I think
so.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like wind up, and you're like, man, I've been playing this for 2 months. Why am I broke? Oh, $200. That's to League of Legends.
I think
You're just
in certain
wow.
cases, that's where freemium actually does a better job for the end player. In these subscription games, you're spending $15 a month or whatever you get it down to based on how often you're playing. So you kind of have a fixed amount.
Right. Yeah.
But like League of Legends, if you're paying subscription fee and you end up paying a little bit on top of that for marketplace content or anything like that, well, now you're paying more than $15 a month. With freemium, if you pay less than $15 a month to the market, you're not paying. I mean, you're at $15 a month. You're spending what you'd spend on a subscription.
That's
right.
true.
To play a game.
You're right. You pick and choose what you want, but the problem is, I think, is that we get you bring money into it, right? And then when you start doing things like items are worth this currency already, that exists nowadays in like Diablo or something like.
Actually, they took that out.
And they took it out because it screwed up the game, because players are too focused on the money, and it actually ruins the fun.
Right.
Because you're like, man, how much is this worth? What did I spend too much on this? What do I got? And then, or you go down the path like Josh was saying, you get
front load with
way too much money, and they're like, man, I didn't even play it this much, and I spent $200 on all this crap.
And the thing you kind of complain about with front loading is that money. I've heard people complain it's kind of more like the Microsoft points when they still did
it's
point
space
system.
bucks. Yeah,
is because you front loaded.
They're space bucks.
Because you front loaded, they're sitting on your money, making whatever interest they're going to make.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
You're not getting that. But I think Guild Wars 2 really does an awesome job and sets the bar like really high. For a freemium versus subscription model, because, like I said, your marketplace is not pay to win kind of stuff. It's grinding help stuff. On top of that, they do new content every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Some of it's kind of minor content. It's kind of, there's like an ongoing story that they do, like the next chapter in each story every 2 weeks.
That's cool.
And sometimes they'll do a big like world story that is still completely free. There's no subscription, nothing on top of that. The original Guild Wars did have like 4 or 5 expansions.
Yeah,
but again,
you had to
still,
keep buying
you bought the expansion.
Yeah.
You got to play it for free.
You knew what the costs were up front.
Are they not doing that on Guild Wars 2? They're not making expansions that you have to pay for?
They're just automatic.
There are no expansions.
It's DLC, but you don't pay.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's really cool.
It's just every Tuesday there is a new, they call it living story. There's a new piece of the living story that's available that you can play.
Which
if
jump
you're
in this
into
game? Because the first Guild Wars you couldn't jump.
You can jump.
Yeah, you can jump.
You can jump now.
This one's
I think I played the beta for this and I don't remember.
Yeah,
Guild Wars 2 is pretty
really
good actually.
good,
If you're into the fantasy MMO thing, Guild Wars 2 is a good option.
Action-y kind of combat too, I think?
It's pretty much like Dark Age of Camelot.
It is WoW, so it is like WoW
It's
attack.
It's D&D style.
The fact that you have like the Druid character class for Warcraft is what sold me. It was just awesome.
Yeah.
Josh likes to transform because he likes Transformers.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, really, like Guild Wars 2 is really such a low barrier to entry. If you don't like the game, holy crap, you've spent $40 on a game, and you don't ever play it again. It's not like you got to pay a subscription, or I pumped a bunch of money into it and don't want to play it anymore.
Yep.
You play it for 6 months. You don't spend any more than just buying the initial game.
That's true. Yeah, it does give you more choice on where to spend, but it also, I think, enables those companies to try to get more money out of you, and they are. I mean, that's their job as a corporation, right? They're trying to still figure this out. It's not set in stone.
I think it makes you feel a little bit better though. Like when you think about it, because with a subscription based, they're getting their $15 whether you like it or not,
and whether you play or not.
Yeah. So if you say, "Oh, I'm really enjoying this game, but I'd really like a pickaxe that doesn't fall apart after 50 uses," throw $5 at the game.
Or your World of Warcraft and
throw
you do
20.
both.
Yeah. I mean, who cares? Because
you have a subscription
you don't have to buy
and you charge for those little microtransactions.
some of them
they do.
No,
they do that. They give you like, hey, if you want to pay money, you can get a mount and you can get this. And
then I did it as gifts mainly for people. Who
there are people in the guild that I'm in. There are people that you get, I think, 5 or 6 characters per account that have 17 characters. They have multiple accounts because they like playing the game so much, and there are actually weapons in the game that require you to do certain things that have to be done like once per character.
Interesting.
So if you're really interested in getting that weapon, if you really like the way that weapon looks, you can either try and buy it on the marketplace, where some weapons are several thousand gold, which if you tried to buy it in real money is ridiculous.
I'm sure.
You do that. But yeah, I mean, you just pop up a new character, build him up, get the things you need for that character, go to the next character, do the same thing.
Set up the sweatshops. I need my gold mine now.
And they've actually done some really nice stuff. Like originally, the grinding, unlimited grinding stuff was locked to a single character. It's now locked to your entire account. So any character on your account can take that pickaxe and just wail away and never run out. So it's actually, like I said, it really sets the bar really high for a freemium, like initial pay, freemium from then on gameplay.
Yeah, you do have to kind of have a good trustworthy company that does it too, and they have to set it in such a way that it's transparent and they're not trying to. When somebody feels like they're being ripped off with something like that, horse armor, Oblivion, it does.
It basically comes down to lube, is what you're saying.
Yes. It comes down to lube. It comes down to lube. Yeah, they have to make sure if you're getting banged that there's enough lube there.
If you can see it coming.
Yeah, if it's too dry.
If it's too dry, you're not going to like it.
No.
This horse armor is going to hurt.
This horse armor, it's made of steel. No.
Lexington steel.
Oh.
Sorry.
No go ramming.
Go ramming.
No, but it is... For me, I like that all-in-one. I feel like I've got... And this is me, fundamentally as a person, I don't like to feel like I'm getting screwed out of stuff. I want to make sure I had all the content there to begin with. So, that's why DLC is a tough sell on me, because, I feel like the game should be complete from what I get. So I worry that I miss out on the complete experience, which is why the nickel-diming stuff bothers me.
Sure, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, where, what was it, chapters 13 through 15 were DLC.
Yeah. I never bought them. I never bought them either.
That deserves a punch in the face on that one.
But see, on the flip side, there are companies that do it responsibly, and the DLC is worth it.
Yep.
Mass
Effect, yeah.
Best DLC.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of them. I'm not even just pointing to one, but they do DLC in the way that I'm like, wow, okay, lots of value, lots of...
My biggest
Battlefield 3.
I was going to say I'm off tangent here. I didn't mean to go DLC
Battlefield
on it,
3, I mean, we certainly got to keep moving this on, but the Battlefield 3, I'll say, does okay. It's somewhere in the middle. I think if you do premium for Battlefield 3, you don't feel like you're getting screwed.
Yeah,
but if you're non-premium,
and you bought packs to packs,
man,
I felt
you're
like I got
starting to feel
on
like
some stuff.
You're starting to feel like, Jesus.
I should have brought premium. I didn't know at the time.
That's my only complaint with the Mass Effect DLCs, is I really would have liked a season pass. I know they made an ass load of money on the individual packs.
Yeah.
I would have totally bought a season pass.
Me too, but that was before. Yeah, that was before the season pass stuff. We did
Mass
Borderlands
Effect
2.
4, probably going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Borderlands 2, we know better now. I'm going to buy the BioShock Infinite season pass, I think.
Yeah.
And, we bought Borderlands 2 season pass. Totally worth it.
Oh, yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
All that DLC was great. Yeah. So I mean, there is a way to do it. And I think season pass is I like that kind of stuff. But if I would have bought one episode at a time, I think I would have been All
right. So I've got one for you that I think personally would work out even for consoles.
Okay.
Because on PC you can do a little bit different than you can on consoles, like how it works. Like the Guild Wars model might be difficult to pull off. Maybe not. Maybe Destiny, because they're saying Destiny isn't going to be subscription based.
No, it's
so
supposed to.
We'll see how that works out, because Destiny is supposed to be a
Destiny
little bit
always
closer.
online too? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's persistent.
Okay, so you have to be online, so they can offer content patches all the time if they want.
We'll have to see what happens with it. My guess is that there will still be some sort of expansion. But here's my suggestion. I think that you have your Xbox Live Gold.
Yep.
And then my thought is you have, on top of that, you have a
Platinum.
You have some sort of Xbox Live Platinum, where it's more money up front, right? And then you pick one game. You pick one game that money is going to, right? So let's say World of Warcraft came out on consoles.
Okay.
And that's the game you wanted to play. While you're playing it, that extra money from Platinum is going to that.
Microsoft would never do this.
Maybe
because
not.
they would never give other companies that money, even if it was.
Maybe not, but it brings people in.
It's true.
And then if you go, okay, I'm done with this. I want to do Battlefield Premium.
So you're saying you could switch it to which direction you
The
were.
problem would
but
be
each month.
But I mean, I mean, it would have to be more.
It would be limited. You couldn't just like I'm going to switch it now and today.
Couldn't do it
I'm
like
going to
daily.
switch
It
it.
would have
Yeah.
to be like a fixed time period.
Yeah.
Right, and once
every
you-
other week would be the most you could switch it. So for 2 weeks,
Something like
Battlefield
that.
4 got
It'd
you
be a
money. For 2
2-week.
weeks, Destiny got you
And the
money.
difference would be, let's say you bought the disc for Battlefield 4 or whatever, right? And so when you chose Battlefield 4 is going to be my platinum or my premium or whatever, and suddenly all the DLC is available to you.
But then it
when
has
you
to be
leave,
unavailable.
Yeah, you lose your licenses.
But
when
see,
you leave.
people hate that. This is like
Yeah.
this
No,
is-
but that you're choosing, right? Do you pay for?
well, that's
premium?
true. It works on PlayStation, right? Because people are using that PlayStation Plus now to download like games and get them in the queue. But those games become non-existent as soon as they quit having PlayStation Plus license.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Really?
it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus lets you get all those free games and you can set them up in your queue.
It's like the games for gold on Xbox.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
if you
exactly
lose your
the same.
Xbox Live
As soon as you
Gold,
drop
You're
back down
done.
to silver,
You don't get those games anymore.
like they may
They're
be
just
there, but you
unplayable.
can't play them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you resubscribe,
Yeah,
to
you
Gold,
get them
you're
back.
fine.
You get them back.
Same with what
It's
I'm
the same
proposing.
concept. Yeah,
Gotcha.
actually that would work, but like I said, Microsoft would have to be in bed with those guys. Not with in bed, but
but
like
see-
they'd have to have a deal struck with them that they're going to get this money, and so it would have to be almost Netflix,
But so
right?
the-
That kind of a deal. Where
Yes,
there's,
yeah. But like the
Be almost
GameFly
like
model.
DLC rental.
yeah, almost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
In a way.
Which I mean, if you think about it, I mean,
that would be nice. Simply,
it's very pro-consumer, but I don't know how.
yeah, I mean, it's not like at this point.
companies would
It
have
helps.
the way
It helps image. I'll
Right.
say that because
sure.
the
Yeah, it's
Batman
true.
stuff
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened.
No,
If they
never
had
would've.
this model, they would have
You
been
would
getting
given
the
your money to it.
And the nice thing is, it's not like you're just outlaying this money indefinitely.
Oh, and
right?
Microsoft
Because
gets a
people
cut,
People
of
move
course.
on, right?
Yeah.
So they get that money, and while they're still in there, so they're incentivized to okay,
Really good.
make bank. Let's get them hooked now.
Yeah.
And then you keep giving them your platinum money because you want to keep playing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Works more for MMOs than it does for something that's like a single player
That would-
DLC.
I mean, there's only like one instance where I'd be like in a game where I'd be playing something and then we switch to another game, and I'd wish that I had that.
Yeah.
yeah, see,
mean?
the
Like
the
that.
perfect world for a company is I sell you my stuff. It's not that we stop getting your money; it's that you paid it and then you bought into it regardless of, and we don't passive income essentially for them,
I
right?
think the issue would be the other issue would be price point. You'd have to watch because I mean, if you think about it, let's say Battlefield 3 had 5 DLCs.
Yeah.
About
Yeah, I
$10 a
think
piece, so $50 in DLC. If you're on the subscription model, once you pay over $50, you've paid more than if you had just bought the DLC outright.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, I mean it's an option if you say, "Hey, I really like what you guys are doing. I'm going to pay you a little bit extra."
Not that we have to fully vet
but-
this out, but let's say that right now Xbox Live Gold for a year is $60. What if it was
70.
No, it'd have to be more, way more.
$100.
Yeah, what if it was 100 or 120, but it's up front? You know what I mean? What do you want for Christmas? Well, I want my Xbox Live Platinum. It gets you a whole year, whatever. Or you get deals on it and it's 100 or whatever.
Yeah.
If you have it like that, where it's a count that, okay, now you got something and
It's
the money's
still a
there.
huge buy.
I
Yeah.
see. So the idea is you're only paying once per year, and that extra
That helps
$30 or
though,
$40 in that
You
year
allocate.
kind of gets moved around.
You allocate it to what you
Right.
want.
Okay.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
that'd be true.
I don't know.
I don't know. You're
Interesting idea.
giving them interesting ideas. That would be interesting.
On the subject of how companies make money, right?
A little copyright symbol there.
Right.
One of gang signs.
For
Or
our audio
shadow
listeners,
shadow puppets.
Chris is just mangling his fingers out there. All right. So, on the subject of companies trying to make money, is there really a possibility for Nintendo to make it through this?
Apparently, there is.
Well, I mean, can they?
As
can
a
they
health and
release-
fitness company.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can they maintain in the video game market? Really?
I don't know.
Can they really come out with a next gen console now beyond the Wii U? Can they really come back?
I think they've got some trouble here, and they're porkinsing it up.
They're
I'm having trouble here.
Yeah.
their goose has
Eject.
really kind of cooked, and
roll
people
it
have been. I'm not sure what just happened with Nate, but
I was reenacting Porkins from.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
should-
Sorry,
should've
I'm
ejected.
stealing this away.
Yeah.
from-
no, go for it.
Chris.
Go
No,
for
go
it. You,
Yeah.
All right, well, so I don't know. Like, I love Nintendo and always have.
Yep.
And it took a while before I finally, I took a break from Nintendo right around the time when the N64
GameCube.
was done. And yeah, they started the GameCube, and I went PS2. And then
There was a real diversion there.
Yeah.
Because N64 was the last one that they were cutting edge.
Yep.
When they chose to take that stance. Mortal Kombat on there.
Yeah.
You know,
And
They also
GoldenEye.
cut ties with a lot of the Japanese developers that were centralized,
really-
like Square. When
Square.
Square split, we got burned by that because we were huge Final Fantasy fans,
Yeah,
and
we loved
Square
the
went
Final Fantasy.
PlayStation, and we were like, "What the
And
hell
they're
is this PlayStation crap?" You know? Like,
Yeah.
Well, because GameCube didn't. GameCube
didn't have any of that stuff
admitted
either.
that they weren't going to go cutting
they
edge.
went small disc, low res kind of stuff. I mean, the graphics were pretty good, but they're not.
They weren't DVD.
Yeah, well, they were.
Well, I mean, they were the mini DVDs, but they didn't
they
go
weren't
DVD
PlayStation games.
Right,
player.
exactly.
Well, and they weren't up to PS2 caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
it was
That really made the
probably
PS2
close. And then it's
sell
just
was
like
that it was a
was
cheap
the
DVD
sell
player
part.
as well,
Yeah,
too.
exactly. That was part of the reason why I bought it. So, but I've always had a strong tie with Nintendo. I really enjoyed their games, and I think it's mainly just their IP. Like, if you play a Mario game or you play a Zelda game and you see the iterations each time they come out with a new console, and those games always come out and they're great because they designed the console basically for what they want to do with those games,
Yep.
those types of things. And so they always go into that with that mindset, but they can't get the third-party developers anymore. And you've
Nope.
seen that with the Wii U, with the Wii. It's
And
like,
especially
the
the Wii U.
only games like with the Wii that I ever played were Nintendo-based games. I don't think I
I was
ever
gonna say, I
played
think,
anything.
was it his first or second episode we looked at it, that like the highest still paid Wii games were like Wii
Crap.
Sport.
Yeah, probably.
Wii Sports, no,
stuff
you're
like
right.
that.
Wii
With
Sports
it.
Like
Resort
at the time
Resorts or
was
whatever.
like Luigi's Mansion, I think was
Yeah.
the most popular one, and then
Was it on Wii?
in like the top, of all video games, like Wii Sport Resort, and I
my
think Luigi's
gosh.
Mansion were about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
On the Wii?
On,
on
on all consoles,
on all
those
those.
were the three Wii
So-
contenders in like the top, 40 or 50
Oh, yeah,
selling
yeah.
games.
Like I was excited about the Wii U, and I almost bought one, but I was just going to take a break.
And then you had flashbacks to
The Wii.
Kung
Virtual
Pao,
Boy.
Kung Pao, Fist of Fury.
Right.
Like, "Wee, wee, wee."
Yeah, I have to agree. It was sort of a similar. I stuck with them a little longer because I was like, "Come on, Nintendo, you can do it." So I hopped on board. I had the GameCube for a while, and then it was just
Gotta
like
still have a game.
the software never came. You
Yeah,
know,
and I think that's just it.
It
Like,
never
you
came.
just-
It was like I got older, and then Nintendo was like, nope, you kind of outaged yourself for our market. You know,
Yeah.
we've niched ourselves into family and kid.
You're not our target anymore. See ya.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
and that's kind of what happened. And I was like, yeah, they're fun. The platformers are really cool, and they do some good stuff. And I have a 3DS, and I freaking love some of the Mario games for that.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the old school N64 games that got re-released or whatever that I
Yeah.
played. And
So
Ocarina.
pre smartphone, they dominated mobile.
Oh yeah,
And-
the Game Boy was by far the greatest mobile device I think of all.
DS,
Game Boy,
actually.
Game
I was
Boy
going to say
Color,
DS
Game Boy
is just
Advance,
slaughtered,
DS.
too.
And it has,
DS
and
too.
the 3DS still, it's really fun to
3DS.
play.
Yep.
2DS.
2DS. The
3DS for
we're
a
not gonna
while
discuss
was
that.
looking really bad, too. The 2DS.
Yes.
Reggie. My
yeah,
body, my body was not
Not
ready.
They definitely did have quite the lock on mobile gaming until the smartphone showed up. They were
Smartphones, and
it.
then it just it
Because
took
we didn't-
over.
Like
because-
there was Game Gear, but Game Gear kind of fell by the wayside. There was the Lynx from Atari that nobody bought. There
Yeah.
was the
Neo
I guess
Geo.
there's the
I think it's the
PlayStation
Game Gear.
PSP and
Battery eater.
yeah.
6 double A's.
There's
It would last like an hour.
Right. The PSP and the PS Vita, which
Yeah.
have kind of kept Sony in the mobile game, but
Yeah, they're just trying.
eh,
PS.
They look good. It
PS
just- it
Vita's
just doesn't-
awesome.
yeah,
It doesn't
it's
catch
just-
on.
It's
No.
it's too small for the
Nobody-
caliber of games you
Yeah.
expect on that.
Some good features there, but
Yeah, yeah.
That's the problem is like people don't do giant AAA experiences on the go because like you'd rather if you're gonna play that you're gonna play it at
You
home.
like a good
Right.
brain
You gotta get
type,
immersed,
know?
yeah.
And you want to
Yeah.
get immersed, and this is
Like,
you
it's
know,
just
not on a train.
I'm on the train, and or
Yeah.
like Subway or something.
Yeah.
Like swiping through a
Yeah,
couple
like
of breaks. to
Tetris before Angry Birds, Tetris most popular. You know?
Yeah.
And look at the complexity of Angry Birds. Not that complex.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, just finger across the screen.
So I don't know. What do you
Flappy
guys
Bird
think? Is back to the question? Is there
something
anything they can
Nintendo
do?
So, I mean, I don't remember everything that was in that conference that they had. I just remember health and wellness was a big.
That was their big
Their
That's
big
their big
push
thing
that they
that they're
could.
trying
I
to
think
do.
some of that was the success of the whole Wii Fit platform.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that when you got a Wii, when it came out, you were like, "Oh, I'm totally gonna friggin' exercise. I'm gonna get a Wii
I could
Fit."
do Wii Sports, and then now I can do this balance board yoga
Right,
stuff, and
I
it can
can't
tell
throw
me
the-
I'm fat. And
Yeah,
it's like,
I can't throw the Wii Fit board through the TV bag. So I get that, and then you're like, this is
nobody sticks
And
with
then
it.
they
but-
insult you by saying,
I'm walking in place.
You
Not-
behave like a 47-year-old woman. And
Right.
No.
yeah.
Not to put it down,
And then it
Wii Fit,
insulted you and you smashed your Wii.
Yeah.
That might have happened.
Wii Fit was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like for the
Yeah.
Was it
simplisticness of the
good?
games. Like there was like a boxing thing, and then there was an obstacle course.
See,
It
I
was-
like the boxing
kinda
stuff on
fun.
the Wii even.
But yeah, like to a certain extent, at some point you just get pissed off at yourself because you're like, I'm too fat to play this game.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you don't feel that way with Halo. Like maybe when the Omni comes out and you have to actually run to do stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like with the Wii games, it's like
Maybe that's what it'll be.
goddamn obstacle course.
When Oculus and Omni come out for all
my
these
God.
first-person
All this stuff.
shooters,
Yeah.
everybody's like, "F this! I'm going back to Super Monkey Ball."
When you say Omni, is that thing that guy strapped himself into and was like walking around?
Yeah.
on the
Yes,
treadmill?
yes.
I thought that looked a little lame in some regards.
I don't think it's gonna happen quite like that.
no,
anyway.
but watching him try, he like not fall, but he was
Yeah.
like, just watching him do the treadmill for those audio listeners, like it's this like treadmill action that he was like walking around. It just didn't look like it was.
Yeah.
It's not there yet.
No.
We're not there yet.
No, but I would almost be a little concerned if Nintendo's going to focus on health and wellness, that this is going to come in from the side and
They
be like,
would, yeah. Oculus, just knock them right out.
"Up yours, Nintendo! Look what we got!"
Yeah, we got Oculus. Where
it works
you
with
see
PC. It
you
works
can
with
see the
Xbox.
people. I was gonna say the people like doing
works
the
with
roller
PlayStation.
coaster, and they're like gonna fall over
Yeah.
because it's just so disoriented. Because it makes you feel like.
So
you're-
what Nintendo can do is release their goddamn IP on fucking iPhone and Android,
This
iOS.
is what everybody's been saying though.
But and you know what? Everybody's been saying that, and it really is the only way they can stay afloat.
So
Now, should they come up with? To be honest with you, I think they should start releasing some of their old school Super Nintendo stuff.
even original like Mario on my phone.
on like
Yeah, but how are you gonna play that?
There's
you
they've
get
got
the
like little controller
That's
things that you
horrible.
can get.
I don't know.
Look at, like,
the
the
ones-
Logitech-
And the
Logitech,
clip-on
have you
like
seen
Bluetooth
the-
controller.
No, if
things
you have a
that-
controller, it's fine. No, I
Yeah,
meant. I thought
yeah,
you
no,
meant. I
that's
thought you
what I'm
meant the.
talking
That's
about.
one of the
No,
good
even
ones.
then, I'm like,
The
if your phone,
touchpad?
if your
No.
phone screen, you've got like a 5 or 6 inch screen, maybe 7 or 8 or 10 inch
And
screen.
they put buttons on it.
And you've got like your 2 buttons on the bottom right and your thumbstick on the side.
and it works.
Yeah, I mean, old
No, I've
Nintendo
got a
games.
couple of games like
maybe
that.
once you get into the Super NES and you've got 6 more buttons, it might
Yeah.
get a little rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Are you talking
2
about on the touchscreen?
Yeah, like on the screen,
Yeah,
like 2
on the
buttons.
screen, it shows-
or control stick. Like
Horrible
there's a,
control.
There's a
Horrible
Final-
control for a Mario game where you need that exact precision for platforming.
Yeah, for the later
You're talking about
stages, but at the
on-screen
beginning-
control versus the clip-in.
versus the clip.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's a Final Fantasy game
Yeah.
on the market that's
Yeah.
got that. Like the controls.
Yeah,
are
but
just across
Final
the bottom
Fantasy,
screen.
you don't need like that precision
You don't.
control. You just
You
need to
don't. You're
walk
right.
around.
for the opera scene, maybe.
No, you don't need precision.
I don't know how much precision
To
you
avoid
actually
those
need
rats.
Nah, you'd be fine.
for Super Mario Bros. I don't know that it's super precision. Like
Listen to this guy.
Zelda,
you'll
I
be
don't know that
fine.
you need
You'd
that
be
But
much
a
fine.
precision.
platformer, you're like,
No,
precision control.
Seriously, no. Platformer is the most like aggressive on that, where you have to pixels of an inch
Alright,
to
but
jump.
you
Bates
do
got
have-
stippling
you do have
on
the-
his
But
on his.
yeah, like you
No,
said, there are.
Seriously though, you
gotta get that rough edge.
if I'm not, am I not talking?
Yeah, no,
truth?
you're
like truth
Mario
on those
jumps
little,
on a block.
Yeah.
And he catches the edge of it. All you see is like
he's
his
like
legs.
stippling
Internet,
like-
validate me. Validate me. I'm right. No,
Pixels
seriously.
falling off the block as Mario's like scurrying up the
No.
block. He's like, come on.
Record tangent.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, so Nintendo, like, how can Nintendo save? Like, I don't necessarily know that it's release it on iPhone and iPad. That's a way to do it.
I think it's part of it.
I think they should license their software. I think they should.
Therapy. They should go the Sega
I think
route.
they should go software route and start like. Can you
Sega
imagine
route.
Zelda on the Xbox? How many people would buy? You guys would buy Zelda on the Xbox.
I would.
You'd buy
So here's-
Metroid Prime on the Xbox.
Here's the other thing. I think if they did that and they were the first ones to price hike,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the next Mario or the next Zelda or the next Metroid or whatever at
They
80
retain
bucks,
value.
$70-$80. Yeah.
it would work.
And people will
probably.
pay it. And you know what?
You know
it
what's
does
gonna take-
retain value. Like Wii games are the only ones they leave, or the Mario, Nintendo, like all those Nintendo first, they stay the same price, and people will pay it
Yep.
and continue to pay it
Yeah.
because they retain that value because they have innovation.
So I think, not to be kind of a downer about it, but I think Shigeru Miyamoto has to die first before any of this kind of stuff can happen.
Before they can give up the.
I think so. I think he just
See,
loves
that's what
building,
sucks too. Is
like his hardware with they
Yeah.
love to combine his creative designs for games with the controller.
And I got to be fair,
hardware and
they
everything
brought
else.
analog. They
Yeah.
were the first ones to do analog control, and that was necessary for that experience of Mario 64 to feel that like walk, run thing. Like you never had that before.
Yep.
Mario 64. You
Yeah.
never had it.
Now
like,
it's a staple.
it's
You've
a
got two
staple.
of them.
Right, nobody uses the D-pad.
No, you have.
The D-pad's a secondary menu pad, is what it is.
And to
basically.
lose that Nintendo innovation in some regards, like we would never have gotten the Wii motion controls, which a lot of people hate on, but you got to admit they did some interesting things.
Sold the hell out of the Wii.
Sold the hell out of with the Wii bowling and everything. And if it would have been,
I think it helped with Xbox wanting to put something towards motion.
Yep.
And that's what
Yeah.
designs the Kinect.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing though. So the
there's a
Wii
connection there.
brought motion controls in.
Yes.
And Nintendo brought the analog stick in, but other people perfected it.
Yeah.
That's the Steve Jobs motto. You know what I mean? Like, how many
Wait
other...
for somebody else
you
to
don't
do
have
it.
to be first.
You don't
just
have to be first.
best.
You have to be best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a problem for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because they brought these things in, and then
people take 'em
and then
and
even Sony's PlayStation or PS Move.
It was horrible.
Well, I was gonna say it is more accurate than my Wii remote.
Do you
my
have one of
Wiimote.
the advanced ones?
You don't have the
Oh,
Wii
no.
Motion Plus though. See, that's the thing.
there's
They
a new
added the
one.
Wii
Yeah.
Motion
Okay,
Plus
well,
remotes
Connect.
later.
Connect makes it so that you can't have couch apathy for playing golf or whatever. You know, what I mean, if you get up there and
Fake
try,
out the accelerometer.
you can right. Hold on, let me bowl a strike. You know, just flicking the
For
wrist.
the audio listeners, Ryan's just flicking his wrist instead of actually doing the whole bowling motion.
Right, like
Doing something. over there.
Same with the
He's
golf.
flicking his wrist.
You raise it up with the golf and then straight down to like
Get the perfect swing.
Perfect shot.
a hole in one every time.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, but like
It was good times.
seriously,
we played the crap out of the golf.
Yeah, we did.
on Wii Sports.
the
Sorry,
video
tangent.
motion capture is the way to go on that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
and,
you can't
and
cheat.
it looks like that Microsoft has totally ripped off the Nintendo Mii's, you know?
Oh,
like
yeah, with the avatars.
system.
It was a blatant ripoff.
Oh my god, blatant. But even now, Kinect 2, it's like the next step. It's so much better, and all the voice commands and like all the shortcuts and stuff.
Yes.
I'm not going to say that it's integral to the Xbox One, but for getting into if the whole thing was
Innovation.
if the whole thing was let's capture the family market and the action and whatnot. There's some pretty interesting things you can do with the Kinect 2 now, like because it can actually watch your digits as well. You know.
Yeah, I still think Nintendo wasn't really going.
Watch your digits.
Watch our digits, yeah, all 11s.
I'm sorry, Dave. Where's that finger going?
Oh my! All right, make your point, and then we'll go on to the.
I was gonna say Nintendo. I do think a lot of people said licensing, but they do what they do with their hardware so well, though.
It's true.
You know, that's
They
the
really
thing.
do.
Like,
it works seamlessly.
and like, you know, I don't know that Mario Galaxy needed the Wiimote because it didn't. You had the nunchuck you had to plug in to get the analog control, and you could have done that with a control pad. But like, they do take their technology and make it into something interesting. You know, like Zelda Skyward Sword, they had the Wii Motion Plus, and you actually swing the sword in the exact place
like
it is.
Like they had like the crossbow.
That's gimmicky.
Yeah,
to put the crossbow on it, but
Yeah.
they had the thing where you could shoot.
Yeah. So
They are good at taking their hardware and making it into something unique for their experience, but
I would say that they failed at the Wii U though. The second screen, even among some of their big titles, the latest Donkey Kong one, it shuts it off.
Oh,
it's
it
not
does?
even a second screen.
Really?
Yeah.
I,
So some of that stuff, I mean, it still works for remote play, but some of that stuff is just a little bit
it
underutilized.
was great in Wind Waker with the map. There is really something that's super tied in, having a map. Like, if you can make an iPad do that, if somebody can make that better and use your iPad as your map, and it's seamless with the game, like, that's a huge thing to take it away from the HUD. No, so you don't have to.
No, it's
small.
It's
Smart glass.
Smart glass, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But if you can do that and actually integrate it, but the smart glass let you do that.
Battlefield Commander.
Yeah.
You do commander mode on your smart glass?
Commander mode on an iPad or a phone.
Oh, cool.
That's so cool.
And
Can you
it's
still play while you're doing it too?
No, it's one or the other.
Oh,
You're either
see.
commander for the it's showing that the integration is coming.
Yes.
So we're going to see
It's gonna get
once
there.
that happens, it's going to kind of crush it.
I think pretty much the only thing that's really going to save Nintendo at this point is going to be some sort of amazing technological advancement that nobody's thought of.
They can't just re-enter the market at this point.
They can't play catch up. They've got to
No.
do something innovative, and that may be the only thing that brings them back.
And honestly, their IPs, like, I'm not worried about losing Mario and all of those games. Those games are going to be around, regardless of if Nintendo has to get out of the console market. Like, because those names are like Disney.
Right.
They're worth so much at this point. But the problem
they've got
is
cash in the bank too that
What-
they have not spent. So it's not like they're burning.
It's just how much of that do they want to lose?
I'm just worried that part of why their games are so popular and good is because they've not tainted it with a lot of the. I guess they've kind of done this a little with the new Super Mario Brothers stuff, where they've been like release, but they tried to time out their releases. That, hey, this game is coming out now, and now you're not going to get a Zelda game. You're not going to get a Zelda game every year. You get one every 3 years, and it's really good, and it's different and interesting, and 80 hours long, and so you buy into it. It's the GTA approach versus the Ubisoft approach.
So they weren't cannibalizing their own sales.
Exactly, and I wonder that if they open this up to Microsoft
Like
or
EA
EA or something, and they become a publisher.
because they'll just put out those Marios, and then you're beta testing a platformer. Can you imagine?
It'll
the
ruin the
screams?
brand a little bit.
Ruin the brand. How many TVs are going to die from a controller being thrown at it? I'm just saying.
Yeah, who knows? We'll have to see. Okay, so your thought was release IPs on smartphones.
I think that they should if they're trying to get into like this mobile market and to kind of advance themselves. Like
They're already in it, but
I know, but at the same point in time, they could accrue more sales on people who aren't going to want to invest. After they bought a $200 smartphone,
In a 3DS.
They don't want to tie
want to
themselves
spend
to
another
piece of hardware.
a
$200
3DS, the character
that they have to cart around. And you could sell them, SNES games or something, or maybe an N64 title or something like that through like their own store
and then still
app
have the
thing.
3DS,
But
where
still
they're
have
selling
3DS, and then
new
hey,
experiences.
if you've bought this, you could use this code for your 3DS title and get an unlockable or something. And you really tie all that stuff together to try to, convince them to buy into it, but make it worthwhile so that people who don't have a 3DS are still feeling that the love, but then those that own both platforms or whatever
Sure. All right, so real quick,
Yep.
because that's what I'm trying to do here.
Okay.
With
Sorry.
okay, so what's your thought for Nintendo is
My thought was open up the IP. The IPs
release
and
on the other consoles.
Sell them on the consoles. Yeah, open it up and offer licensing to like Microsoft and Sony. I think that's a way to get at least keep those games and make money off of them. But like you said, charge them at a premium. I think
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Chris, what do you think?
I said tech innovation. They're going to have to come up with something new.
And personally, I
You think
barring
lost cause?
these things, I think they take this moment to save and really R&D, because I think I don't think they can re-enter.
It's the pain train.
Well,
I think they
mine was like
they
mine's
got
the
a Disney
ejection.
Vault this.
Yeah,
They
that was
gotta-
like ejection already is mine. Like pull out of the hardware and salvage their. I mean, as a company, they have to remain solvent. They're good at this point, like you said. There's money in the bank still. And,
quite a few billions in the
Nintendo
bank,
has
whatever.
not been above evolving. They're a 120-year-old company. They started out doing something completely different than video games,
Yeah,
and they've
it's
done
true.
all sorts of random stuff throughout the years. So
Well, okay, so on the video game front, if you ask me, they take their big pile of money
yep.
and they wait. I think that's the best thing they can do. They do it like.
Do they keep pushing their games out too?
Nope.
No games at all.
They do their health and wellness thing.
No
They do their-
Metroids,
Nope. They Disney
Are
Vault.
you serious?
They Disney Vault it, because you've already been just time after
You're
time.
saying cut your losses. Kind of
Right. Well,
just
wait.
accept failure.
Hang on. Let me get it.
All right.
So you pilot and you wait. In 5 years, they announce they're going to go into the next gen. It will be such huge hype because you've been without your Marios, without your Zeldas, without your Mario Karts, that you're going to be like, holy crap, I need that. And you'll come back in. If they just keep going iterative, you already know what it is. When the Wii U came out, it was already, all they did is tack on another letter. You're like, what the... You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like enough of a jump. They needed to wait. Wii U needed to not happen.
Here's the problem, though. If they don't
Yeah, they're done.
Gone. They will leave. Like if they have not burned the people that are in already enough, like you guys that have turned, like me, people who have bought the console and they don't like give you even the first party Nintendo titles, gone. I'm done. Like I will never buy another product from them again. If that's the case,
they need to vet out this cycle.
Yes.
All I'm saying is
I agree with that.
The next gen, they need to sit out. They need to wait.
Yes, I would agree on that.
Disney vault it.
Yep.
And just stop it. And when that stuff opens up,
I would agree with you. I would agree with you on that.
So you're thinking Xbone 2, PS5.
Yes.
Nintendo's offering.
Yes.
Which is on par with everybody else's stuff, as opposed to
if they want a next gen console.
They might. Yes, I think we're the right method for them would be 7 years from now. You know what I mean? And so they go out with, because Wii U still got some life in it. You know what I mean? At least as far as what they expect from it.
Yeah.
So
2020 Nintendo's new system.
Honestly, I don't think they're going to do hardware or they're not. They've already realized they can't compete with Xbone and they're like out of that market already. I think
they finally had to realize that people want multiplayer titles. People want to play their Mario games with more people, and they're working it to that point.
They're way behind on that, too.
But they're still behind.
Does the Wii U do a better job than the Wii did? Like, the Wii U had to know somebody else's console code and all sorts of stupid stuff.
I don't know if I don't think it's console code.
It doesn't quite work like
it's not console
PlayStation
code.
Network or...
Yeah, it's not like, hey, I know your gamer tag.
You can add friends. You can add friends. Actually, I think it is. I don't think you need a Wii U code.
Did they step up? Okay.
Yeah, they stepped that up.
Yeah,
but you can add
DS
friends
was
easily.
Like pain in the butt to try and get to work.
It's still not a social system like Xbox Live or PlayStation Network.
Nope.
Because those are very. I mean, at one point
there's no party chat.
And
right?
There's not even a messaging system.
Yeah,
really.
there is. Yeah, there is. There's messaging system.
Like.
You can send messages. You can type them and write them on the little, or draw on your little skadoodle John Madden pad.
So you can
you could circle guys' asses and draw them over there. No,
okay.
But no, there is. Yeah, you can send messages, but it is not. There's no trophies, so there's none of that integrated system. People have talked about there's like stamps in like Mario 3D World that you get, and they're like, why not have the stamps, and you can take those stamps and like send them to people, like make that the trophy system, like from games, like that would be a good integration. So you're like, hey, I got this stamp and you didn't, or whatever.
In terms of multiplayer, do they even have a whole lot beyond like the party games? Because to me, a party game would be no fun.
Dr. Mario has multiplayer. I know that for sure because I just saw Ashley playing it today.
I guess like a Smash Brothers probably would be okay over the internet.
That'd be kind of fun.
Well, actually, I don't know if Smash Brothers is even going to be Well, they did have Brawl or Melee. We actually had internet play for Smash Bros.
Yeah, but over friend code.
Yep, but you had to do friend code. Still friend code. But yeah, the problem with that game is that it's so, fighting games in general are hard to do online because of the net code that you have to have, that instant hitting.
Somebody's got host advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess to sum it up really quickly, I think that it's Nintendo's already got nails in their coffin, and at this point, it's time to be the vampire and just sleep for a little bit and wait for night again and swoop in, because it's just too much. So anyway, it's Nintendo's in trouble, and I think we all know it. They can't just keep doing what they're doing. It's not working.
Right.
The health and wellness thing, I hope that does work out for them, because it's not truly graphics dependent, really.
Right. Yeah. I think if they actually have success with it, if you can get some people that are like, hey, I'm actually losing weight playing the Nintendo games. Like, people kind of made that claim with the Wii Fit, but then everybody was like, no, you're not. You're not really burning any calories or anything like that.
Right.
But if they can actually get like an actual system behind it and get people that are visible that have been able to accomplish X, Y, and Z playing their system.
Yep.
Then that'll go a long way, because people are always looking
integrated with like Fitbits or
that's what they talked about using was the Fitbits, and it has to be. That's the problem with that kind of technology is like if I have to turn it on when I get on my phone to say, oh, I'm walking now. Like nobody wants to do that.
Right.
Everybody wants it to just work. Like, hey, I just take it with me and now it remembers my steps or whatever.
Yeah.
But
we'll see what happens. Anyway. We do have some more topics. Maybe we'll keep those over to our next podcast. So stay tuned for that. I think until now, unless you've got some comments for us, we'd love to hear your opinions on all of this, whether you agreed about our subscription DLC, what you think Nintendo can be doing, or whether you enjoy being a beta tester, whether you know it or not. Be sure to let us know down in the comments below, and click that subscribe button so you get more videos like this one. Indeed. Head over to Facebook if you do like us. That's facebook.com/fairlyawesomepodcast. Or over on the Twitters. We are over there as well with the tweets. That's at FAPCast, FAPCAST. And I think that just about does it for us. So join us next time. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
See you later.
See ya. Bye. My left hand always do much better than the right
so
one.
much shaking. So much shaking.
Hope that thing's got a shock resist on it.
Did you say shock resist or cock resist?
I don't know.
Oh, you're not recording this. That
Oh, no,
sucks.
I'm recording audio, though.
No, that wouldn't be fair.
No,
Not that.
Sucks. Wait, we wouldn't want that.
no,
No.
not really.
Nobody needs to know.
No one.
Clarice.
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 What did the FAPCast say, Clarice? What did they say?
Quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo. I know Latin, Clarice.
I know
Does it? Do you do
I took
the?
that in high school.
um,
three fucking
What is
years.
Android
Clarice.
Siri like?